waited for 7 minutes, so we'll just go ahead and start. So I'll take my time to be as slow and as clear as possible, so everyone can follow in and like really get a grip of what I'll be sharing. Okay, Abike, I thought you left us there, and yeah, so I'll be taking my time, and yeah, I'll be sharing my screen also, as everybody can see. So yeah, so welcome everyone to this workshop. It's a knowledge session workshop, and it is courtesy of the Education Guild. And my name, is Alod. And like I always say when I don't usually feel the time is always enough to really break down what the session is about. So if anybody has questions and they don't really feel comfortable taking the mic and saying it, you can always DM me the questions or tag me in the Education Guild, and I'll be sure to get back to you. And yeah, IBK, I don't know, are you done with the feedback form? I don't know. Is it your royalty? I'm not really sure about that. Okay, so mic check, just to be sure. Can I- yeah. IBK, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. There is. Okay, you can hear me clearly now, right? Okay. So, okay, I said this is a knowledge session, courtesy of the Education Guild, and it's on holding and staking. So I'll just go right ahead and share my screen. Okay, my screen is sharing already, but I'll just go there fully. So basically, this is a knowledge session on holding and staking, or HODL and staking, if you want to use the crypto lingua for that. And basically, in this session, we'll be dissecting, or we'll be talking about what holding is, what staking is in relation to the cryptoverse, that is to the crypto world or to the cryptocurrencies universe. Yeah. And like I earlier said, for those who didn't hear me clearly, uh, after this, if you have any questions, you're always free to ask. And even if you have questions after this session, you can always tag me in the Education Guild, and the prompt to answer. Okay, IBK, thank you. Okay, thank you. I see your text. Okay, currently on the road. Okay, safe trips or safe travels. I don't know if you're traveling. So let's just get right to it. So in this session, we have a theory session where I'll be talking throughout, and we'll have a practical session where I would, you know, use my wallet to show us a little example on what it means, or what the session is about, what it means to stake and what it means to hold. Now, so let's get right to it. Now, in cryptocurrency, oh yeah, in uh, cryptocurrency deals with tokens, it deals with coins. Permit me to use the word, it deals with tokens and it deals with coins. And different blockchains and different projects have their tokens and have their coins. Now, how you transact is by your tokens. So, depending on the number you have and depending on the transaction you have in mind, what you use in transacting is your tokens. Now, for you to operate uh, in the crypto space, you need a crypto wallet, be it a decentralized exchange wallet or a centralized exchange wallet, but you need a crypto wallet for that. And the essence of the wallet is to store your tokens. That is the essence of the wallet. So now, holding and staking are strategies in the crypto space by which we are able to accumulate or accrue profits. Holding and staking, they are both strategies where we are able to accrue profit. So I will go first to the first one, which is holding or HODL. Now, why is spelled like that? It simply means hold on for dear life. I think it's a crypto lingo anyway. Now, a HODL is an investment strategy in which a trader doesn't sell their assets despite fluctuations in the market for a long time. Now, basically, that's what holding is about. Holding is you have some coins and you don't sell them. So basically, the tokens stay in your wallet. You don't sell them, you don't trade with them, they are just there. Now, like as I said, it's a strategy, and the angle for that strategy is a long-term pattern of thinking. A long-term pattern of thinking. Now, holding is more than just a strategy. Now, if you've been in crypto for a while, you know most traders or most participants in the crypto market function under their emotions. So they buy when others are buying and they sell when others are selling, not because they've done their own research or because they've heard some new piece of information, but they just feel because everybody is selling at this time, I should sell. Now that doesn't occur to holding. Now holding, for you as an individual to hold certain tokens, you must have done your research on those tokens. Now, holding doesn't require anything special. Let's say, for example, we are all in the BanklessDAO, and for the various tax or bounties or roles carried out in DAO, we are paid in the bank token. Now, the DAO encourages us to hold those tokens, and that's why we have the L1, L2, and so forth, because the DAO wants us to hold the tokens. Now, holding, like I've said, is doing nothing special. It's just having the tokens in your wallet and not selling them. So you don't convert them, you don't flip them, they're just in your wallet static. And basically that is holding. Now the reason for holding is this. It occurs as a result of a genuine belief in a project. And that belief will come from your research, will come from your information, will come from pieces of data you've gathered as pertaining that project. And that's what will encourage your holding. Now, I want to give us like an example or a story when Bitcoin first came into existence. I don't know if everybody must have heard the story of the dude uh, pizzas with 10,000 Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken. Now, most folks benefited from Bitcoin when Bitcoin began to do really well in the market, and that was because they held onto the coins. They held onto the coins. I had a friend, not a friend, maybe a colleague, one of friends, or an acquaintance. That's a good word. I had an acquaintance who got some Bitcoin. He got some 400 Bitcoin as at then. He got it for like $40. And the reason he got it was he got it for a friend. So the friend would start bugging. And he left it in his wallet and he forgot about it. Now his was a mistake, but simply that's what holding is. And when Bitcoin began to do very well, he was able to remember his wallet phrase and password and was able to actually have access or gain access again to the coins. And basically, that's what holding is about. So, like I said, it's more than just an emotional decision. Now, it's quite useful as a strategy. It doesn't require much preparation and it can be done in DeFi or not. So, be it in your centralized exchange like Binance or FTX. Oh, sorry, FTX. Sorry about that. Be it in Binance or whatever centralized exchange you use or a decent wallet, MetaMask, Uniswap, just be it whatever. You just leave the tokens there and that's how you hold. So, and basically that's what holding is. And now, like everything in crypto, does it have its risks? And the answer is yes. Now, mind you, before you generate belief in a project and then proceed to hold their tokens, you need to do your research, your own personal research. You need to You need to go around, try to dig up as many information as you can, and it's okay. It's very good that NS is here. So if anyone has, let's say you don't know what to do in research or you don't know how to frame a research, I think NS can help you out with that. He's doing an awesome job in the research field as well. So I think you'll be able to onboard and help you out with that, and you can use that knowledge in doing your research. The risks in holding is this: there is a tendency that you can lose your funds. There is a tendency you can lose your funds. So, for example, let me give a very vivid example. FTX recently crashed. Now, I know a couple of friends who are holding the FTX native token, which is the FTT. We're holding it in the beliefs that the project will do well over time. And of course, you can't blame some of them. These are some of the research they did. They felt the coin or the project is going to do well. And as such, when the project started coming down, their worth also started going down. And I know friends who lost thousands of dollars, who lost hundreds of dollars because they were holding that. And I know a friend who he was engaged somewhere and he couldn't have access to internet. He was somewhere, he went for a hike or something. He went for a retreat or something. And by the time the retreat was over and he came back to the internet, he didn't have anything in his wallet anymore. And basically, that is just one of the risks, one of the many risks of holding. Like I said, crypto has its risks, and that is one of the risks. So basically, that's the risk of holding. So in the eventuality that the coin should dump, or like what we call the projects get robbed, you lose your tokens. Now that's that for holding, and I'll be moving to the next terminology, which is staking. 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 Now staking is the process of holding tokens in wallets to support the operations of a blockchain network in return for earnings. Now, this is where the difference between holding and staking comes in. In holding, you don't do anything. You keep the tokens there. You don't do anything to it. You just keep them in your wallet. There's no special preparation. There's no key to turn or button to press. Just have them in your wallet and you're holding. But staking is basically submitting your tokens to the network in return for earnings. That's what staking is. And basically, there are different avenues for staking. Some can be for profit generation, some can be for validation and governance. But the whole idea of staking is to multiply your earnings. That's the whole idea of staking, to multiply your earnings. Now, okay, I said that. Now, it's a way as an investor to grow your holdings without having to sell your assets. Now, let's say currently currently the market is not doing so well, and let's say you have some which token would I use? Let's say you have some Matic. Let's say you have some Matic tokens, and you don't want to sell it because by your research, you feel Matic will do very well next year, and selling it would make you lose your advantage you have in the market. That means your entry point advantage. You can stake your market. So what staking does is you've submitted those tokens to the network, and in return, the network gives you percentage earnings on your tokens. So what it means is you are putting your tokens to work without having to sell them. So staking provides community rights. So with staking, you are able to become an integral part of a project. Basically, for you to stake, you must trust the project, or you must trust the network, or you must trust the exchange in which you are staking. Now, staking can be done singularly via a staking. Now, uh, how staking occurs is this. Now, in decentralized exchanges, uh, staking is basically you uh, providing some form of liquidity. There are various avenues for staking. In Uniswap, for example, you can stake your tokens for rewards. In Binance, for example, Binance has a feature that allows you to save some of your tokens. I think they call it save and earn. They call it save and earn. They don't literally call it staking. So what happens is you submit your tokens to the network uses it for a particular purpose, and they share the profits with those who staked their tokens. Now, uh, how are stakers rewarded? Now, each blockchain network that permits staking has different ways of calculating their reward. So now staking, this is where staking differs from holding. The reward depends on the rules set for the staking of staking what comes to mind for the staking events to happen. So you might not necessarily get tokens back, but you might get NFTs, or you might get voting rights, or you might get community rights. So it's all different depending on the rules. But one thing is sure, you get added value to the initial value you had. So let's say you had $200 worth of Matic. Now you might not get Matic tokens back, but you might get USDC tokens. You might get NFTs. And also after staking, the initial capital you provided for staking is also in. So it's simple. It's what traditional banks do, where you keep your money and the money generates interest over time. That interest comes from the fact that the bank takes your money, especially in fixed deposits. Yes, I think that's what it's called, fixed deposit account. What happens is the bank takes your money and they do business with it, transactions with it, and they give you percentages on whatever was realized using your money. Now, of course, the banks like cheating. Yeah, so they don't really give you the full amount. But in the crypto space, everything is decentralized. So you get to see, assuming you are doing this thing in DeFi, you get to see and you get to have your rewards. Now, when providing tokens for a staking event, always be sure to check out the rules involved and if those rules favor you. Now, for staking to occur, there are uh, lots of rules governing it. For example, some staking operates with time. So once you put in your money or your tokens, you can't remove them until the allotted time. If you want to remove them, you have to pay a fee for early removal. So you check all those rules, or you check all those rules to be very sure that uh, what you're putting your tokens into, you know what you are getting into. So that's one of the echoing sound in crypto. Always do your research. Always do your research. Be sure of what you're staking. Be sure of the project. Be sure of everything. Be sure of everything. So uh, so you don't run into issues later, because crypto market is a bit volatile. It's a bit volatile, and uh, changes happen really quickly. So before you stake, sure, you should be sure. And I think FTX has showed us that changes happen really quickly. There were a lot of folks who were staking on the FTX exchange. I'm sure they lost their money as well. Those who were staking the native token, I'm sure they lost their money as well. It's really painful, but yeah, that's it. Now, features of staking. Features of staking. Now, these features, I will break them down. There's proof of stake, there's cold staking, and there's a staking pool. Now, a staking pool it basically occurs in DeFi. So, staking pool basically occurs in DeFi. So, I think it's a bit synonymous to liquidity provision or providing of liquidity. So basically, uh, you provide your tokens to the exchange, that is the decentralized exchange, and they could use it for anything, ranging from maintenance to providing liquidity, or they use it to borrow, like they borrow that crypto traders money for it, and you are paid back. You're paid back. And basically, one of the applications of staking can be seen in the futures market. in the futures market. If you use centralized exchanges and you trade crypto futures, you should know about that. Now, where when a trader multiplies his leverage and he uses money that he technically doesn't have to trade, that money comes from a staking pool that has been organized, or a staking event that has been in play. That's where that money comes from. Now, proof of stake, basically, proof of stake, it's about the new Ethereum network. Basically, proof of stake, uh, this kind of staking that shows basically community rights. So you don't necessarily get tokens back. Sometimes you do, but the idea of this proof of stake is that you become like a validator, or a validator on the network or on the blockchain, depending on the rules they have and as such. Now, like I said, we're going to do like a mini session, and it's basically how do I stake? How do I stake? So what I'm going to do is I think I'll be using Uniswap as a case study. I'll be using Uniswap to show you how you can stake some tokens. And so I will urge everyone to pay close attention. And like I said, if you have any questions, you can always ask after the end of the session. So finish up. Swap. And now for security purposes, anytime you want to use Uniswap, be sure of the website, be sure of it, and so you don't go to the wrong site or a phishing site. So be very sure anytime you're deploying your wallet. Yeah, because it's really not funny out there. Folks getting their wallet cleared all the time, and yeah. Mm. Come on. This is it. So you have to connect your wallet, and that's what I'll be doing. I'm connecting my wallet, connect my MetaMask wallet. Usually, I have a wallet I use for these sessions. It's empty, so I'm always very careful of connections, and that is one way to safeguard your assets. Be very wary of where you connect your wallet to. If possible, have as much wallet for different purposes as possible. So you have the wallet for testnets, you have the wallet for devnet, you have the wallet for testing, and basically lots of it. Okay, so I'll connect to this one, next, connect. Yeah. So now I'm connected to Uniswap interface or the Uniswap digitalized application. Yeah. Now I don't have any Ethereum on the Uniswap, but don't worry, it will still be enough. The goal. Let me just change it to a light theme. Okay. Yeah. I think this is much better. So the goal is to show everybody how to do it on Uniswap. And basically, if you're able to do it on Uniswap, you can transfer that same knowledge to whatever platform you'll be using. So you come to swap, sorry, set of tokens, and you come to pool. Now, when you do that, you have something like this, and you come to more. Uh, Now you can create a staking pool if you want. You can create a staking pool if you want. or you can join anyone you want to, or you can join anyone you want to. So now in Uniswap, the tokens you stake are used to provide liquidity. So that's why it's showing liquidity positions. But it's technically the same thing. The tokens you stake are for liquidity. So that is what Uniswap uses your stake tokens for. Of course, I don't know, but I heard they have taking event for they have a taking event for community rights, but I'm not very sure about that. So you can create a pool. You can create a pool. Now you have to now while staking, depending, like I said, depending on the exchange, you will need to read the rules and be sure of how staking works in that exchange, because each staking event is governed by rules and the rules differs. So Uniswap rules can be different from Binance rules. Binance rules can be different from SafePal rules. SafePal rules can be different from 1inch rules. But the rules are different. So let's say I'm taking some Ethereum and DAI tokens. No. Of course, I don't have some of them. I don't have any of them. So only show. So let's say I want to stake one Ethereum. So for that, I will need 1,163 DAI for that to work. Now you can always choose and you can always deploy your staking. Of course, you have to adjust the price. This is where you adjust the price at. So you adjust the price at. Now, when you're done with that, you can, where is written insufficient DAI balance, this part here, this part where the cursor is. If I had DAI tokens, you'll be able to see it and you'll be able to deploy the tokens right there. Or to search for bank, search for, okay, search for bank. Let's go. Like I said, I don't have any tokens in this wallet and in this wallet because, oh, snap. Okay, as a little error. No, just wait for it to come back on. I'm using this Uniswap wallet. I'm using this partner wallet because there's nothing there and I feel safe using it because this is just an illustration. So that's why I'm using this. Okay. Basically, this is how everything goes, and this is how you are able to, like, stake and yeah, do that like that. Now, I want to show us that use different, using different application for that. I'm using an Atomic wallet for that. So, come to share my screen again. So I'll see it. Okay, I think it's still loading. Just bear with me. Loading. I thought I had opened it, but it isn't. So yeah, I'm trying to I'm trying to use another of my wallets. Yeah. Okay. 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 Just to be sure, can everybody see my screen? I'm about to like wallets just to be sure. Yeah, you should see. You should see it. You should see it soon. Okay. Can everybody see the wallet? Okay, I'm coming. Let me fix it. Coming. Okay, you should be able to see the screen now. Can everybody see it? Okay, sorry about that. Let me had to reboot it. So sorry. Okay, you should see the screen now. Can you see it? Okay, yeah. So basically, this is Atomic Wallet, one of my numerous wallets. So I think I will just go through how to stake with Atomic Wallet. And like I said, every wallet or every network has a certain set of rules governing their yeah, every wallet has their rules and how they govern their staking. Now, Atomic Wallet is quite straightforward, and all you have to do when you have your Atomic Wallet, this is the PC version, but in the mobile version, is actually straightforward as well. You come to staking, see staking right here, and you click on it. And in Atomic Wallet, they have like a certain amount of coins you can stake, so they don't have everything. So when you stake in Atomic Wallet, you get this is a percentage of the rewards you get, and I think this is per year. I don't know. Yeah, it's per year. These are amount of rewards you get per year. So of course, if you're staking some Sol, you get 7% of Sol per year. Of course, it will be calculated to the days and the time you use. So basically, for you to do that, you click on each of them. Let me do BNB. Click on BNB. Now, if I had some BNB, the amount I have will be shown in the available here. In the available here. But since I don't have, it's asking me if I want to buy. Of course, I don't have any dollars to buy. So once you click on the buy, you're able to get and once you click on the stake, time, and that's it. Now amount can be blank. It's saying if you have at least 0.00125 BNB to send BNB and stuff. Yet so that's what staking does, and that's how you're able to stake. So basically, that's the whole little practical session on staking. Now, I didn't do anything for holding because holding doesn't require much. Uh, what you need in holding is just to put them in your wallet and you're good. So I would like to return back to these slides now. So yeah, come here. Now the next, what I'll be going to next is I'll be doing a little bit of comparison and a little bit of contrast between holding and staking. That's what I'll be doing. Compare and contrast. Okay. How how similar are they and how different are they? That's basically what it means to compare and to contrast. How similar are they uh, and how different are they? So and that's what I'll be doing. So I want to put the slide back up so we can all see it. So
Sorry, Alan, I can no longer see your screen.
yeah, I'm fixing that now. I'm fixing that now. Okay, I think you should be able to see it now.
Yes, it's good.
Yeah, okay. So I'll just scroll down to compare and contrast. So, like I said, I want to compare holding and staking. How are they similar, and what is the difference? Like, what makes them stand apart? Compare and contrast. Sorry, don't mind these figures here. So the only similar thing they have is for you to do any of them, you've got to have the tokens in the first place. And I think that's the only similarity they have. You've got to have the tokens in the first place. So, like you've seen, you can't stake or hold if there's zero balance in your wallet. So you've got to have, or you've got to have gotten some of the tokens in the first place. And I think that's where the similarities end. Contrast, the differences. In holding, you don't need to do anything. There's no special preparation. Once you've gotten the tokens, keep them in your wallet for as long as you want to. So basically, that's holding. Now, by default, everybody in the cryptocurrency space is holding because at one time or the other, there's always some tokens in your wallet. It might be bank token, like for those who are in L1 or L2, who are holding 35,000 bank tokens. So it might be bank token. So at any point in time, we're holding. But in staking is actually not default. You've got to prepare for it, you've got to plan for it, and you've got to seek out the means in which you want to stake. So basically, that's the difference. So in staking, you've got to deploy it. You've got to go for a staking event. You've got to drop it somewhere. And I think that's where the key difference comes in, because while you're in staking, you get returns. On hold, you don't get any. The returns you get only come if the token pumps. If the token pumps, fine, you get returns. If the token doesn't pump, you don't get any returns. Now, like I said, each decentralized exchange have different rules that govern their staking, so you should be very careful. Like in Atomic Wallet, they call theirs staking. It's staking. On Uniswap, is liquidity. Now, the difference between that is liquidity. There's a bit of risk to that as well, and the risk is called the permanent loss. Uh, I think during bank utility and Uniswap, I explained much of that. Permanent loss is simply, oh, you provide your tokens for liquidity, and the price fluctuates, and the fluctuations doesn't catch up with you yet. What I mean by that is, if I have some Ethereum tokens, and let's say Ethereum is $100 for one, and I provide liquidity. If Ethereum dumps, I won't be able to sell. I won't be able to like sell on time because it's already in a staking event and I cannot remove it without risking some penalties. But here's where the wrinkle comes in. If it pumps as well, mine won't pump. So the exchange is going to give me $100 of what I staked. They won't give me like more Ethereum tokens. So I think that's where the risk comes in reference to staking. But in holding, the only risk you have in holding is like a rock pool or a really, really, really bad bear market. That is the only risk you have in holding. So once tokens dump, yeah, you've you've lost it there. So I think that is only risk in holding. And now, like every event in crypto, there are risks and there are reward. Some outweigh the others. So what you do is you do your research. You try to read up on it. You try to check. You try to be sure. Try to be sure of what you're getting yourself into. And like I said, if you have issues researching, Ernest is here. He's very good, and he can set you up in the research guild and show you what it is you need to do, how to have research questions, what questions you need to ask when carrying out research, because those are the guidelines that will frame your research and will eventually help you. And yeah, that's the end for now. For now. So if you have any questions or anything I explained wasn't really clear to you, You can just unmute your mic and ask your questions to be sure, and I would try to answer them to the best of my knowledge. Oh, and it's love atomic wallet. Hey, atomic wallet is actually very straightforward. Their UI is pretty simple. They don't have time for all those complex BS and stuff. It's straightforward. Yeah. So if you have any questions or you need more clarification on holding and staking, anything, even liquidity, if you have questions with liquidity as well, yeah, I'll be open to answer that. And the main goal of this session, as a person who is in the DAO, is so you can put your bankless tokens to work. So instead of just having your bankless tokens, you could stake them and earn some rewards. Yeah, that's the main idea behind this session is for the utility of the bankless token. So you can always have a means or the knowledge or the technical know-how to deploy your bankless tokens to various events and receive returns, no matter how small, no matter how large they may be. And yeah, so thank you very much. Thank you for the attention. So if anybody has any question or any clarification, or you want to contribute, or you feel there's something I didn't really touch, and you feel you have an idea on it, yeah, the floor is open now. So I'll mute my mic now and wait for questions. And yeah,
It was good for me.